This video is not going to be a cliche like, where there is no vision, the people will perish. But I'm learning that if you don't have a vision for your life, oof, you're screwed. This week's video is sponsored by no one. If you've recently had a job performance interview, that time of year again, an interview, or have even thought, I really want to walk out, you might have started asking, there's got to be more to life than this. I started noticing recently at one of my jobs that I spent more time organizing somebody else's life than I did my own. A month ago, I was helping organize quite a large global marketing attendance for somebody, and they didn't flinch when the one-way plane ticket cost $15,000. But when it came to giving an employee a $500 bonus for working very hard and diligently for 12 months, they kind of had one of those spasms and then started going on about how much they needed to get approval from all their heads of department. I used to get so angry about these situations. I kind of still do. But I see these same kind of scenarios happen time and time again. I almost wait for them to happen. Not because I'm a sadist, because it gives me that painful reminder that if you don't create a vision for your own life, you're going to end up helping someone else fulfill theirs. This topic has grabbed me by the hoo-ha, and thanks to neuroscientists like Dr. Joe Dispenza, who spends a lot of time studying how we create a new personality and the brain changes that happen behind that, I myself have been collating and playing with tools that I've found incredibly helpful. As I'm chatting here about creating a vision for your future, what I'm talking about is starting with a basic, minimal first version draft. It's like a minimum viable product in business. You have to go out into the real world and test it before you go full retail.
Everybody knows you never go full retail.
It's a starting point to see if that vision really holds up and whether it's for you after all. You get some really valuable feedback and you can improve and rewrite your vision at any time, and probably will, all the time, for the rest of time. I've found that it's better to have a draft vision than no vision at all. Here's what I've defined as a vision. And no, it's not quitting your job and getting drunk with coconuts on the beach. Although if that's your vision for the entire rest of your life and your future, then have at it. I found a good working definition is the vision is a life-directing goal encompassing all kind of facets of being a human. And here are 6 questions that I find very helpful in helping to create your own vision. Be as specific and detailed as you can at the outset with where you're at. And if you're like me, you're going to be refining it over time. The first draft is going to be absolute shite, and that's awesome. Who do I want to be? What do I want to do for work? Where do I want to live? What does an ideal day look like for me? How will I contribute to my community, country, the world, or humanity in general? What kind of people will I surround myself with? Just start and let your brain come up with all the stupid ideas it possibly can, which it will. Just jot it all down for now. You can sort it out later and filter it, trim it, edit, and whatever, but the whole point is to get the flow going, to get that momentum going. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's better that it's not perfect, just start. It's incredibly helpful to also generate the feelings. You need the emotion attached to writing. It's not a thinking thing so much, it's the flowing thing and a feeling thing. Something will click in here where it starts to feel good after a while. So I'll just walk through step by step. But firstly, how you go about it. Journaling. I do a lot of handwritten exercises because I find that really helpful for my brain, and it also slows me down a little bit. Or if you prefer an online organizer, I also use something called Notion. I'll pop a link below so you can check it out. It's a free version, but you can also upgrade if you want to. Notion is really helpful in the sense that you can also organize your thoughts graphically, so you can have flowcharts and drag and drops and templates that are already in there. So have a play with that. I'm finding it really useful. Let's get practical. The first question, who do I want to be? Someone special, not a loser. You can define who you want to be by starting with who you don't want to end up like, because that's often where our minds drift to first. We think of everything we don't want to be, and then just flip it around, find the opposite of that. See how they're pretty general responses? That's a good way to start, to give yourself time to actually build up on that. I want to feel vitality, excited about life, grateful to wake up, be looking forward to the future. Have something that makes me want to continue on. Be fully alive and present. I don't want to have to rush through everything. I want to be more patient with my mum when she calls. I want to be kinder. I don't want to regret how I behaved because I was so stressed out. See how I'm getting more specific? It's becoming quite narrow now. We have more specific words now like vitality, inspired, patient, calm, kind, giving, generous, joyful. Start with the stupid responses. Stupid is great. Terrible is terrific. You have to work your way through the suck first. That's just general life rules. Starting is a win, and simply showing up takes courage. Why create a vision? Here are some reasons I am convinced as to why creating a life vision for yourself is going to be one of the best activities you can do. It gives you some kind of filter to run things through in life. It's a system for prioritizing and perhaps eliminating some of the demands and the decisions that we have to face. It gives you a map. By having a vision of your future, it allows you to have a mud map so you can see and feel when you're veering off, which will happen, still happening. You just start to feel better when you have something to look forward to, you have something to work towards. It's a way of showing yourself love. It's reminding yourself that you are worthy of a life that you design. You're drawn into your future willingly. Nobody's pushing you to do something. You actually want to go. And by doing this, you actually start developing more enthusiasm for your own life. I found that really good stuff. It's like, oh yeah, it actually feels really good. What is this feeling good feeling? And also by having a future ideal, you can start taking steps towards it. Tangible action steps, little baby ones, but it's a step. And by taking action on a daily basis, you're getting some wins in for you. I found one of the biggest problems with not having an intrinsic goal that you've created for yourself is by default, you end up adopting somebody else's goals because there's clarity there. Somebody else or some other system has laid out a path for you. We get it in schools growing up as kids, we get it from our parents, we get it from the workplace. There's clarity in the structure. And it's very easy to become lazy because we forget how to create our own plans because we've become so used to somebody creating plans for us. If it's not clear by now, this video is not for people who are thrilled to be told what to do and have a map drawn out for them. It's easy to become so good at your job, especially if you've equated your self-worth and your identity with how hard or how well you work. I mean, the commercial reality is you're never going to get told by a company to go out and create your own vision for your life. Make sure it's vibrant and puts you in center frame, because why would your boss want to lose somebody who's so good at making their life better? And you give your mental, your emotional, and your physical energy to then find yourself so deep in that way of being, you become to some extent enslaved in that system. Then you go home and you start telling yourself that you don't have the time or the energy to do anything else. It takes time each day planning and envisioning the life you do want. It takes effort to overcome that habit of numbing yourself out when you know you feel that call to do something more with your life. Just 10 minutes of focusing your mind on any of those 6 questions is going to put you light years ahead of that old self that's sitting on the sofa watching Netflix to distract from the pain of facing a life that you don't want. Setting up an environment to focus, I found it's crucial to give yourself the best chance of success by creating an environment that's conducive to your focus and to your 100% attention on this exercise. Eliminate distractions. I personally find mornings are the best because that's before other people wake up or you get text messages, emails, calls, you name it. No, do not check your phone. Don't even do a little quick check of your phone or emails before you have your focus session, because you think you're going to be able to ignore that email that you just read, but in the back of your mind, it's going to be taking up that mental space of, oh, I must do that, I must get back to that. Oh, it's going to be churning the background as you're trying to focus. And then you're wondering why you're all jittery as you're trying to do this exercise. Have things ready before you go to sit down. So have your drink of water, go to the bathroom, have your coffee if you need it. Have things ready to go, because inevitably it ends up being, oh, I only have 30 minutes before work starts. Oh, it's probably going to be too late to do this. Oh, and then you sit around wasting time because you haven't set yourself up properly. And then you get annoyed at yourself and then you realize, now work's taken over my life again. Then you suffer decision fatigue because you don't know, well, should I start? I've only got 15 minutes left now. Be your best friend to yourself and set up your environment so it clears the decks and puts you in a position to win. And then finally, my favorite bit is action. Taking action. You know how there's a lot of people who talk about the academics of things and it's like mental feeding of the chooks. If you get it, you get it. Intellectual pipe smoking. Taking action as soon as possible on what you've just learned or what you've just journaled is going to be the best thing you can do. I find writing down 3 steps for you to take action on is a sweet little number. For example, with the second question, what do I want to do for work? If I came up with a general answers because I only focused for 10 minutes, there are many days that I fall over on this exercise, but I pick it back up the next day, or even if it's once a week. It's not about hitting home runs every single time. It's about the consistency of starting the exercise and going back to it and refining and tweaking it. So even if my answers might be general, like I want to be able to wake up actually looking forward to my work day, or to feel like I'm appreciated for the work I do, that's not specific enough yet, but you're still able to write some action steps based on those. A specific action step would be something like spend 40 minutes each morning creating a newsletter for my LinkedIn account in order to deliver value to people I'd love to work with, and then listing a number of possible topics. But because it's general, it's good to start with general action steps, like I've listed some here. Find one online group or class I can do to try something new. Because who knows, you might like clay sculpting, and you can't dismiss it mentally, because unless you actually try something, how do you know you're not going to like it? I have definitely found that I cannot think my way out of stagnation. I have to get up, go for a walk. Some days I've gone for a walk many times. Getting up and trying something is way better than sitting there and ruminating. Another exercise that's general is talk to 3 friends or talk to 3 trusted colleagues that you have. Ask them questions such as, can you list some positive qualities about me and potential hobbies or interests you think I might enjoy? This helps you to see through somebody else's perspective, and not just asking somebody who wants to flog you because they see you as a good workhorse. We're asking somebody who's trusted, who wants the best for you, wants you to succeed. By asking other people that you trust, it also takes the pressure off you to try and come up with all of the answers. So you're reaching out to your close network. And finally, reread daily, if not daily, once a week. Reread the visions that you have created by answering those 6 questions. Reread your vision overall. The more you remind yourself of where you're heading, the more clarity you'll start having every single day when it comes to making the hard decisions. Because so much is just going to get randomly thrown on your path every day, and it's good to be able to think, is this going to move me forward in the direction that I want? Even if for now you need to stay in the position you're in, at least you're aware of where you're going and who you want to become. And this is the fun stage where you're planting seeds and providing some focus forward. And mentally, I've just felt so much better. And it's a heck of a lot better than drifting, feeling lost, feeling overwhelmed or anxious. So long as you're making some progress, you're in a good space. Just awareness itself is great. It's an amazing place. And life is a continual, non-stop process of iteration and refinement until something clicks.